Awal Hudu.
Sergio. Sergio, after 1934 with Egypt, after 1970 with Morocco, after 1974 with then Zaire, now Democratic Republic of Congo, 1978 Tunisia, in 1982 FIFA etini in the numbers of participants in the World Cup from 16 to 24. That was the time we had two representatives in the shape of the Desert Foxes of Algeria and the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Yes, Cameroon went into that World Cup in a group with Poland, in a group with Peru, in a group with Italy, drew all the games, failed to progress. 8 years later, from 1982 to 1990, we saw them blossoming on the global stage, taking the world football by storm, being the first African nations to have ever topped a group, to have ever reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup, in a group with Romania, the defending champions Argentina, and then Soviet Union, beating Argentina with the almighty Diego Armando Maradona in that game on that particular night when Francois Mambique scored that goal. And despite the fact that the Cameroonians had 2 red cards, they prevailed with 9 against 11. And Sergio, since then, Cameroon has suffered a lot. And one thing is, Sergio, so what from 2002 and then 2022, Sergio, 20 years, Sergio, Cameroon is going to be yet to win a match at the World Cup. After beating Saudi Arabia, it was 2002 World Cup, it was Japan, Korea. 1-0 no, after drawing against Ireland and also losing against Germany. 2006, they failed to appear. In 2010, they lost all their games. The group stages, no. They lost against Japan in the first game 1-0. They lost against Denmark after taking the lead through Samuel Eto'o 3-1. And they lost against the Netherlands by 2-1. Fast forward in 2014, Brazil. They lost all their 3 group games also. Losing 1-0 against Mexico, losing 4-0 against Croatia, and losing 4-1 eventually against host nations Brazil. Yes, they failed to appear at the last World Cup, no, which was 2018 Russia. Or more appear, and that is one of the things. Recently, they hosted the Cup of Nations, hoping to win the competition, but unfortunately, they could not be able to reach the finals for them to propel and then win the competition. Yes, they had a very fearful game against Algeria during the World Cup playoffs. They went at Japoma Stadium. They lost 1-0, but they went all the way in Blida and won 2-1. So Sergio, Samuel Eto'o, Fecafoot president, has succeeded in embarking on that trip to bring on board some of the players, Yahu Omoa Bruchiri, and one of them, Brian Mbeumo of Brentford. Obabe Komo setup no. Debia Otashe Omo front trainer. Ivan Toney, Johan Weiser, and Brian Mbeumo. These are the guys. Debia Utahu Omo the front three of Brentford. The guy was born in Central France, and Samuel Eto'o, after Cameroonian team, the Indomitable Lions, were able to reach the World Cup finals, for the 8th time in their history. This is one of the guys. Omoba Beka, the Cameroonian setup. In January, they were able to woo Christopher Wu, who is another French born from Lens, and he's also switched his nationality to Cameroon. Brian Mbeumo is going to be one of the guys, I said, Obabe Cameroonian setup. He's a forward. He's going to battle it out with another forward some more, because they have Carlo Toko Ekambi of Olympique Lyonnais, or certain Ubenya, the likes of Leandre Tawamba, Mazik Eric Chopomo, and Christian Basogok. But Sergio is a fantastic player who is going to add a lot of quality to the Cameroonian setup. Or the Twitter page say Sergio, I can't wait to start this adventure. So Brian Mbeumo is now a full Cameroonian. He's going to be part and part of the team now. Where Rigobert Song, Ebediomo, Ediako World Cup. Samuel Eto'o has done a human job. Brian Mbeumo is going to add up to that team. He has a lot of quality to add. Away from that, Sergio, next month, it was September, the executive committee of the Nigerian Football Federation, Omotem, Ebe expire. So now we are going to get a new president based on the fact that Amaju Pinnick, who has been the NFF president since 2014, after 8 years. Initially, he had wanted to go for re-election, but he has to bow down to a family pressure, especially after even the Super Eagles failed to qualify to Qatar 2022. one of the reasons I decided say obe jai jumana to now interestingly other candidates I imagine and said yo politics any tribalism there mu pa and interestingly apart from Amaju Pinnick said you no NFF president had ever gone more than 4 years and now first time even the powerful Amos Adamu, Ibrahim Galadima, Aminu Maigari, all these were powerful members when it comes to Nigerian Football Federation, but none of them have ever gone past 8 years until Amaju Pinnick. Interestingly, Peter Idaside, who was a former national, a declared interest. Jonathan Akpobori and another guy also declared interest, the vice president Shehu Diko, who happens to be the president of National Professional Football League, no. Or no the president, no. Tribalism adia be kumupa and say washen so most of the time status no adia abem say amount for bebre complain say state FA chairman no omo adia omo influence kayentu omo so yen omo free congressmen no. And one thing sir go against, especially when incumbents want to stand, where he decides to take the elections to. He decides to see the governor, and then most of them they influence the congressmen or the stakeholders who are going to vote. No, but this time around, the youth and sports ministry is pressuring the NFF. No, so more organizing Adina Abuja not to give anybody the advantage over each other. And you better close you keep tabs on. You better close your eyes. Nigerian Football Federation omo executive committee no omo term no be expire next month, so we are going to get a new NFF president. Away from that, Sejo Ashraf Ben Sharkin so amuvu after say Murtada Mansour, the president of Zamalek, say only part of the team no wanya a movement into UAE, United Arab Emirates club Al Jazeera. Initially Olympiacos from Greece, yet about a movement to one of the teams Qatar League, no, and also one of the clubs, France, but he's decided to move to UAE. This is a guy who is very, very good, Seju. He's a fantastic footballer. After 100 appearances for Zamalek, he managed to score 40 goals. Not a center forward, flamboyant, very skillful. He's able to move across all the front thread. Obia enya kwa modimba odanedi in that final scene 2 years ago when Nadia Alali were beating Zamalek ono alongside Said Obama and the likes of Zizo. He's a fantastic guy who's going to add a lot of quality to the Al Jazeera setup. No, he managed to win the Egyptian Premier League. He managed to win 2 Egyptian Cups, 2 Egyptian Super Cup and CAF Super Cup, and so you're one of the guys who bring a lot of quality on the table. So when your movement, Maxwell Connect Andy, I deal with it. But Sergio, very, very good information. And say Joseph Polamwa in the 200 meters semi-finals, so what may reach the finals of the 200 meters or the Commonwealth Games. Sergio, I may be tempted to feel say Joseph Paul Amwa should be able to get us a medal at least, because Michelle Omo making it into the finals now. One guy and 2 guys imagine say obi to me Hano Jeremy Richards, that guy from Trinidad and Tobago or D first Omo rate in that semi-finals apart from that Zanelli, who is the British international. I think say these are the guys probably they are going to worry Joseph Paul Amwa. We hope and pray say Ochina said you 8:15 after say that Omube race Omuvia Joseph Paul Amwa should be able to grab us at least a bronze or silver medal. I'm very, very hopeful for say this time around. Seju Ebi a medal the track and field. No, Benjamin Zamati failed to make into the medal zone or into me and win the medal the 100 meters finals. But I hope say Joseph Polamwa should be able to make us proud by winning the medal the Commonwealth Games. So Seju.
All right. Usukumasa something got hard to foot.
Yes. Monday. Say no dear.
More opponents.
Yes. No dear. Motor Suvia. But at least by Monday we are more on air. No be opponent. No.
Narrow Commonwealth Games.